Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by the head coach of Calvin College football. That, of course, is Trent Figg. How's it going?
It's going really well. Things are moving fast, and things are really exciting right now at Calvin.
Okay, so before we get into the program, talk about this job and how were you intrigued by this?
Yeah, so in December of this past year, December 2022, I got a call from our provost, Noah Tolley. Obviously, in August, Calvin started a national search for their first head football coach. He called me in December. They'd been working with a couple of different search groups, and they'd given the search groups the profile of what they were looking for. Um, and two of the groups had recommended me. I had never even heard of Calvin University before. And so they had given him my name and my contact info. He reached out and asked if I would like to jump in the pool for the job. So 5 interviews later, here we are today. So no, it's been a ton of fun so far. Like I said, it was about a 4 week interview process that we went through. I came and I visited campus, met with everyone here on campus, and it's just right. Calvin does things really well. I tell people all the time, there's a commitment to excellence at Calvin like I haven't seen before across the board, from when you drive off campus or on campus to the admissions office, to the professors, to the people that cut the grass, to every person at Calvin wants to be the very, very best. And that's something that was very, that drew me to Calvin.
So for people that might not know, where is Calvin College?
Yep. So Calvin University is in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Um, we sit right on the east side of Grand Rapids, right off the Beltline. And yeah, this university has been successful across the board. When you look at it, our job placement rate is really, really high. Every fall sports team here went to the playoffs. Both basketball teams finished in the top 25. Hockey was in the national tournament. Softball made a great run this spring, and people are having a ton of success here at Calvin.
Yeah. So this year, this upcoming fall is going to be really, this is kind of like, our team one or really team zero.
Yeah.
So what is the goal of this season? Because the first year of the program will be in 2024. So kind of take me through what this year is going to be like.
Yeah. So if you were to come out to a Tuesday practice this fall, it'll look like we're in season. So here's the difference. So we're not going to play games on Saturdays. On August 17th, our players will report to fall camp. We'll go through fall camp like every other college football team. We've got 62 players coming on our roster this fall, which was very intentional. So we wanted to have a 2 deep on each side of the ball, which puts us at 44 players, plus a few more so we can effectively practice. We didn't want to bring in a class of 80 to 90 guys because you can't manage that many freshmen. We want to truly serve these players the right way. So our goal this fall is to train and to develop every single day. So this is very similar to most other freshmen across the country. When they go to a program, they're going to redshirt, right? But they're going to walk into a program and there's going to be, juniors and seniors on the roster ahead of them already, where these guys are going to truly get like that redshirt experience, but also one-on-one attention from their coaches every day. So the goal in this is that every single day we're getting ahead, right? So when we get to fall of 2024, we've been through every situation. We're going to have 2 inter-squad scrimmages this fall. So we've been through game-like scenarios. And, the biggest thing to me is, what does our culture look like when we get done with this fall? How connected are we as a team? How well do we know each other? And how fast can we play?
Yeah. So what was it like to go out and sell this, okay, we're not going to play any games this year, but next year that you might get a big opportunity. What was it like to go out and, get kids to come to Calvin?
Yeah, I'll say this, West Michigan and the state of Michigan's high school football is really good. We have guys coming from all over the state, which I'm really excited about. And for us, it was just being very transparent with kids, being very honest of, hey, this is exactly what we're doing. This is the success that Calvin University has had across the board in athletics. And Calvin wouldn't start football if they're not ready to support it the right way. So first was able to just show kids, hey, this is why we have football at Calvin now. And this is the opportunity you have. And the biggest thing is, like, look, if anywhere you go in the country, there's going to be a few true freshmen that go and play. 90% of true freshmen are not going to play their freshman year. They're going to red shirt, maybe play a little bit on special teams. But they're going to train and they're going to develop. And that's exactly what we're going to do here this fall. So really for us, it was getting kids to see, okay, you're not going to get the game day experience this fall. Outside of that, this is a bonus year for you because you're going to get the one-on-one training from your position coach. You're not at the back of the line on the depth chart, the day that you walk in, and you get to be a leader right away. Like our kids get to come in and they get to be leaders day one when they get here.
Yeah. So this spring and heading into the summer, what's going to be some of the biggest things that you're going to do before everybody reports?
Yeah, so obviously when I took the job January 18th, we didn't own a single football. So we have built the program from ground zero, which we have everything here now. So we're ready to go. But the big thing right now as a staff that we're doing is we're developing our culture. We're developing our best ways of teaching. When typically when you take over a football program, you're having to go fix a whole bunch of things. Well, here there wasn't anything to fix because there wasn't anything in place whenever I got here. So we're developing all of our systems of, hey, this is how we teach. This is what we're doing offensively. This is what we're doing defensively. So when the players get here in August, it's very clear that, hey, this is what the plan is. This is the standard, and here's how we're going to get there.
So I know that you're not going to play any games this year, but what was it like, making in terms of that, where will Calvin be in terms of like schedules and all that
Yeah,
stuff?
for sure. So we're in the MIAA conference, and we have a full schedule for 2024. So that we have 3 non-conference games, and then we play a full conference schedule in 2024. So that's when we're officially members from a football standpoint in the conference. So I've been working closely with our athletic director on that schedule. Calvin released that schedule 2.5 weeks ago for fall of 2024. So I'm really excited about it. We have a 10 game regular season schedule in 2024, and then our schedule is really 24 and 25 is already set, and then we're working on 26 and 27 right now.
Yeah. So going into this, I know I'm not sure if you can mention anybody, but is there really anyone that's really kind of stood out to you in terms of that's impressed you so far?
Yeah, so the guys that we've recruited. When I first got here, we had a walk-on tryout, right? So there was 11 guys on campus that we took that will be on our team. And those guys trained all spring long. All 11 of those guys did a really, really good job. They've been working with our strength coach, Coach Dumais. He does a really good job with those guys. They changed their bodies this spring. So there was 11 guys here on campus this spring. And then the rest of our freshmen will be here later this summer. So from an in-person football evaluation standpoint, that part's really hard to say. I'll say this for, the majority of our guys being incoming freshmen, so far what they've done is they're already connected with each other. So we set them up to be able to, communicate and visit with each other. And we've got some guys that have really taken leadership role. I mean, when you look at, we've got 3 quarterbacks that I really like, all those guys, Luca Pryor, Paul Bauma, and Jaden LaFleur. Those guys have all done a good job with that. Winton Napier was our first ever commit from Whitehall High School, really good offensive lineman. He's doing a great job on the west side of connecting guys. Luca's doing a good job of connecting guys over on the east side. So we've got a whole bunch. It's hard to mention names right now. I'm excited about all of them, to be honest with you. The thing that I'm most pleased with is how our staff, we were able to recruit a class that's really balanced. We have more than a 2 deep across the board. I wouldn't say we're deficient at any position from a numbers standpoint right now.
Right.
We've got a ton of work to do, a ton of training and developing to do with these guys. But I'm really, really excited about it.
Yeah. Putting a staff together and trying to sell them on, okay, so you're gonna develop a bunch of kids this year,
Yeah.
and next year coming in, we're gonna be playing games. So from a staff standpoint, how was it trying to find guys? Obviously, I know you have a lot of connections, and what was it like to put a staff together?
Yeah, that was fun. And when I interviewed for the job, that was a big selling point for me and for I think the people that I interviewed with was, the product of what Calvin is. So when you look across college football, college football has changed a lot. And when you look at coaches, what a lot of coaches are looking for right now is where can I go that's a great place and be around great people and have a quality of life. So being in Grand Rapids was a big selling point for me. And so here's what I knew. I knew exactly what I was looking for offensively. Coach Dixon fits that. He was the first phone call I made. He fits that perfectly. He and I had never worked together before. He's a tremendous football coach, never been a part of a losing season as a coach. Played and coached at Dordt University, which is a sister school of ours. Came from Midland University, and fits exactly what I envision our offense to be. That's what he's been doing. Michael Steffen, our offensive line coach, I knew I wanted a Michigan high school coach. Coach Steph played at Hope, which is our big rival. Played at Hope, was an offensive all conference offensive lineman there, team captain there. He was their offensive line coach there for 3 years. He's been at Grant High School as the head coach and AD there, and was able to get in contact with him, and really, it was a perfect fit for him to come back here. Then on the defensive side, Coach Lawson and I worked together at Southern Arkansas University. He's been at Arkansas Tech. Coach Upshaw and I worked together for 4 years at 2 different schools. He was at North Alabama as the D-line coach the last 5 years. And, it's all about relationships. It's all about people that you trust and know, and it's come together really well.
Yeah. So now with I know I asked you this, but the next few weeks heading into before the kids come there, what are some of the biggest focuses that you're focused on, Trent?
Yep. So now that we have our roster set, now that all of the equipment and all those things have been ordered, now we're focusing on process. So what do these processes look like for, as we teach? How do we? To me, it's so important how we teach our players. And so now we're focused on processes of what does our install look like? Like we just finished, here's our fall camp calendar, here's our fall camp schedule. What do these meetings look like? How are we teaching this? When are we teaching this? What situations are we teaching during fall camp? What situations are we pushing off until the fall? We're truly diving into the football side of it now, of how we're going to teach and how we're truly going to build this program from the ground floor. So that part's really exciting. Typically, when you go into fall camp, you got juniors and seniors that have been with you for a few years and they know the system already. Nobody here knows the system. And so we're truly starting with, hey, this is how you put your cleats on. Truly starting from ground zero and building it from there, which is exciting.
Yeah. All right. Well, Trent Figg, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us. And let's have you on again sometime as year zero begins.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I'm excited, and I'm happy to jump back on with you anytime.